Now, listen carefully to this message because it will be here in the next 24 hours. I chose this time, and I will share it with you and all the people of the world. Remember, a curable and an incurable disease are two sides of the coin. And now I'm asking all people who suffer from it, where do you usually keep your attention? What is your favorite side of the coin? Years ago, I was interested in the topic of diseases that are proven to be curable and incurable. Then I divided them as two states of one disease, just like a coin with two sides. When I kept my attention on the incurable side because of my false beliefs and the others' opinions, this topic was very important for me because in 2015, I was diagnosed with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, or COPD, bronchial asthma. I wanted to know how I was going to live with this type of disease that most doctors consider incurable. That's why I easily chose the dominant side of the coin, the incurable. A year later, I had much more serious symptoms than before, because I followed the instructions of my GP and the opinions of many specialists and doctors. But I was wrong. I was trapped in my false beliefs because I observed what I did to myself. And all the symptoms appeared and got worsened after that. I was following a lot of advices and not what I felt and what I wanted. But suddenly, I made up my mind. I realized that the main reasons for the worsening of my symptoms laid in my unconscious habits, unhealthy lifestyle, and the same things I was doing day after day. I took the same medications every day as long-acting beta agonists lasting 12 hours. One of them was Symbicort, a corticosteroid inhaler prescribed for bronchial asthma. And these changed the game. Sometimes I couldn't drive my car because I felt dizzy, lightheaded, lost my breath, and suddenly I stopped to catch my breath. I couldn't stay in the bathroom for more than 5 minutes when I took a shower because of the humidity. I lit a lot of candles to dry the air in the bathroom. I couldn't climb the stairs easily because I was losing my breath. I couldn't run because of the severe bronchospasm I was having immediately afterwards. It was accompanied by a dry and sometimes productive cough and a sharp pain in my chest after coughing. I could not do heavy work or work in an environment where gas fumes and chemicals made it difficult to breathe. I couldn't work in a stressful environment because it caused symptoms to worsen. I couldn't learn new things because I was distracted, and it was related to the way I breathed. I had issues with my heart and kidneys related to the chemicals and the progressed condition with illness. I had a moderate bronchial asthma with pulmonary obstruction, according to PEF markers. It happened 1 year after since I have been diagnosed. Then one day I suddenly told myself, Stop doing the same things and taking all these medications that exacerbate the illness, I added. I continued to strive and research all sorts of alternative ways to heal myself, and then my journey began. I focused on myself, especially my physical and mental state. I observed the symptoms and their causes. I practiced a lot of exercises, including cardio, stretching, cycling, and other physical activities like swimming, and found new ways to cope with the disease. I tried everything, and I mean anything, because when I defeated the disease by weakening its triggers, then new possibilities emerged. Day by day, I found many solutions to the incurable side of the disease. It gradually became curable. Then I realized that I had all those wrong beliefs about the chronic disease bronchial asthma. Like many people who suffer from it, and most of them live with it for the rest of their lives. 3 years later, I tried to induce bronchospasm by speeding up my breathing, but failed because I had a normal oxygen saturation level and about 99%. The symptoms no longer existed. Then I tried to expose myself to the same environment in which I discovered I had developed the disease. Surprisingly, all of those triggers were not recognized by my immune system. Then I clearly knew I had succeeded, but I kept trying and looking for other solutions because, as you know, some people with asthma have an allergic reaction to certain environments. It's an eosinophilic type of asthma. I only had an immune reaction from toxic gases, cold air, and chemicals used for cleaning and disinfection. This type falls under non-eosinophilic asthma, which belongs to occupational diseases. In 2022, I met a woman who was over 60 years old. She had non-eosinophilic bronchial asthma and used 2 inhalers. I talked to her and gave her my advices. She was under my supervision during her self-treatment. Surprisingly, she stopped using 1 inhaler during the first week when she started with the alternative therapy. The only thing that she was worried about was what she was going to do when she forgot her inhaler at home, and in case of a sudden bronchospasm. When I noted that her worries were only related to her memories of the past, because she was breathing well and some of the symptoms were gone. After that, she continued to use the 2nd inhaler, but rarely. It played the role of placebo instead of a treatment. She kept it in his pocket just in case. A few months later, she shared with me that she had been healthy over the winter and had stopped using the 2nd inhaler. At that moment, I felt so nice and tears streamed down my face and watered my cheeks. That feeling came because of what she had achieved as a result of a lot of effort, perseverance, and faith. She believed in me and believed in herself. That moment was so precious because I motivated her to do her best and beat the disease by sharing my experiences and knowledge. She chose this long journey to self-healing instead of taking corticosteroids. She was the 2nd successful case of healing of the same disease, a bronchial asthma. Then I realized that I could be helpful to many suffering from the same disease, and I believe that they are still looking for solutions. So I want you to know that anything is possible, even if it looks impossible. Everything is possible with time, if you begin right here and right now. If you stay persistent and consistent in every self-healing method. And if you try anything, not only some of those alternative treatment, and I believe you will succeed if you pay attention to my message. For more information,